Hi. I honestly don't know how I'm gonna start this video. I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about, honestly. But I really like porches. It's pretty straightforward, front porch, back porch. This includes but not limited to like decks, patios, garages, like those little areas that just so much can happen on. And I want to say it's like, right now it's up a fixation, but like I just feel like they're really underappreciated when it comes to those. Like so many people just don't have porches. They don't appreciate the porches. Porches aren't what they used to be. Why don't I see people go outside anymore and sit on their porch having lemonade? It's just obviously like social things have changed because like COVID and just people want to be more private and just privacy. Like I get that. I want to have some privacy, but like when I don't, why is it like weird that I like sit on my porch? Like front or back porch, like no one really does that anymore except from like older people. I think that's stupid. It's also just little things like that are just like so hard to like, really not like hard, but like so easy to miss and just not appreciate. Like I feel like there's just so much. And like obviously like garages too. Like I love garages. Yeah, there's more, like I can't think of it right now. And it's just, I feel like we don't really appreciate the little things. And once, I feel like if I voice it, it's weird if I voice saying, well, I like porches. Why is it weird for me to say I like porches? Why is me saying I like porches any different from someone saying I like sports? I mean, anyone can play sports. Anyone could sit on a porch. It's like, oh, it's a matter if you're good or not. Okay, is it weird to not be good? I feel like just a stamina of just weird is different and different is bad, or the other way around. Like, I don't know why I have to be weird, like for an example. Because just like, it's just the little thing is like, why am I weird, but this isn't? Like, obviously, like, culture and just like where I am has like a huge part of it. But like, why? Why is it okay? Like, who just said, yeah, that's weird? Like, obviously, things can be different or just like unusual. I feel like weird is just such a weird, not like a weird way to do it. It's just like, I feel like it can be so backhanded. Like, if I have people say to me, you're weird, but in a good way. So I'm weird. I'm still weird. Because when I was in 5th grade, I was weird in the bad way. What's weird in the bad way? Was I weird or was I just different? Or even, was I just ADHD? Answer me that. Neurodivergent people, stand up. Because I feel like that's also where comes a lot of it. Like, just neurodivergence is like our brains work differently. Like, just because my brain works differently doesn't mean it's weird. Just because you have an easier time doing this doesn't make me weird. Like, I have my own little interests and you have yours. I don't know who decided, like, one was more normal and, like, more socially acceptable than the other. Like, how is it weird for me, like 12-year-old me, how is that weird for me to just enjoy books, but going home and playing video games isn't weird? I feel like one's arguably more beneficial. Even though it's not popular, it doesn't mean it's, like, not good. Well, I will say I can be a bit of a trend follower. I'm not saying all trends are bad and you shouldn't follow trends. I'm just saying trends shouldn't be trends sometimes. Like, I don't like trends, it's like a norm, almost. Like, I feel like norms are a good bit of it. Like, why is the norm, like, in the South, like, having a clean house a lot of the times, but in the West, it's okay to be, like, kind of messy. Well, that's a bad example. I wouldn't say messy. I'm trying to think of a good one. Why is it a norm, like, in high school for cheerleaders to be popular, but it's not normal for someone to be in the marching band? And I feel like at football games, this is like a really good example too. Because obviously, like, it's for football, but people also really support the cheerleaders. But when it comes to marching band, they're more likely going to be ostracized. Like, this is coming from someone in marching band. Like, what makes us weird, but the cheerleaders different? We both go to the games. We both support each other. Like, we both support the football team. And, like, with the student section, too, because they're watching them like, oh, the band kids are weird. How are we weird? Like, is having fun in a different way weird? And I did do a little bit of research on this, so can't fact check me. Weirdos, I looked at the word weirdo, and it's just like someone who's just like different, unusual. But there's also a definition that was right below it, because there's usually two, and it's like psychotic. Psychotic is kind of weird. Like, if someone's like a psychopath, like, oh, you're weird. But like, I'm not a psychopath, so how am I weird? What do I do that makes me weird? People say, oh, social cues. Who said social cues? Why do I have to follow them? Like, some I am glad. Some I'm very glad for social cues. At the same time, it's like, why? Like, do I have to, like, follow this cue, and if I don't get it, like, how is that bad? I can't really control what my brain does. My brain controls what I do. It's a very weird thing, and just people, like, I feel like it's just, like, an idea put in so many kids' heads, especially just, like, because people with, like, on the neurodivergent scale, they're just so much more likely to just, like, have other mental illnesses now, because they're just, like ostracized, and sometimes, like, sorry, this camera's, yeah, and just, like, almost outcasted, and especially in public schools. Like, in 5th grade, I was bullied so bad to the point where I had to be homeschooled. People were telling, like, people were talking about me, like, oh, she's so weird, don't talk to her. And just like, well, yeah, I was different from the other kids, but I wasn't weird. I just had undiagnosed ADHD. And just because it's more common for guys to be hyper and just, like, everywhere, doesn't mean girls with ADHD can't be hyper. I was hyper. Like, I was hyper, I had energy, I had more imagination. And I feel like that's what kind of set me aside almost. Like, I just, like, had so much, like, energy and just, like, I don't know, like, even confidence to do things. But, like, it was bad for me because I was a girl. But if I was a guy and I did that, I would be like, oh, ADHD, gotta put her on Adderall right now. But now I am 18 and I'm finally on Adderall. I finally got diagnosed after, like, 9-ish years. And people's like, oh yeah, I could have told you that. That's great. But it's just almost, like, sad right now. Like, I'm starting to realize just so many more things that are like, oh, this is, like, what made me stand out. That's what made me different from other kids or from other people. And, like, I finally know what's almost wrong with me. I don't feel like I should be viewed as, like, weird or just even mentally ill. Like, obviously, I'm ill mentally. But, like, it's just, like, I feel so bad for her. Look at this, that she has, because I'm not trying to, like, trauma dump her, like, guys, I'm so quirky, I have mental illnesses. But, like, I have, like, 5 diagnosed things. I'm on, like, 5 pills. But, even, it's just so weird to me. Because things that set people differently, like, aside from, like, different blah, 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 things that make me different aren't that bad. Like, if I was popular, like, just in, like, high school, too, like, if I was popular in high school, like, if I was still me, like, what would make me different? Like, why, like, what I do and, like, what I like, differ? Because I feel like just, especially when you're young, like, it's, like, so pushed, like, oh, everyone's different, be yourself. But, like, if you're yourself outside of, like, that norm, like, it's bad. Why should me doing marching band affect, like, my social status? Like, why should me doing marching band make me be weird, but not, like, doing football and cheerleading won't? And just, like, there's other things, just, like, the first thing that came to mind, like, obviously, like, it's the norm. Like, I can't, like, I get that, like, that's normal, but why is it normal? Why does it have to be normal? Why can't, like, I be normal? like, yes, I have things that set me aside from other people, and I may not be like the rest, but like, that doesn't mean I'm like bad. Like, it makes me different. I'm just different. But everyone's different. And just because I have a different style, I have different interests, and I do maybe different and immature or more mature things, doesn't mean I'm like different. Like, everywhere it seems to be so simple, like, oh, be yourself, be different, like, don't go in the crowd. But I have to be in the crowd though. Like, it's just so, like, I guess if you're in the crowd, you have to just be different but still like have the same personality almost. Like, I guess for my age and just in like my little area, my little community, to be normal, I would obviously have to be like a lot skinnier. Like, this, I wear oversized hoodies, so this is not my size. It's like 2 sizes too big for me. But I feel like I'd have to be tanner too. This is like with beauty standards too. So I was going on about this, was thinking about it. Obviously, everyone knows that the like a main popular beauty standard is blonde hair, blue eyes, hourglass figure, and just, you know, kind of like that. Well, I'm that. I don't know if you can see, but like my eyes are blue. I have an hourglass figure. I'm naturally blonde. I have blue eyes. So why aren't people finding me attractive? Why aren't, like, I have everyone coming for me? Because honestly, it's just so weird. Because I've noticed when guys say that, they like the blonde dye. Like, I feel like the new norm is artificial rather than the natural. And I'm not shaming anybody, because I've had my fair share of spray tans. I like looking tan. I was an avid tanning bed goer at one point. And honestly, if it wasn't so bad for me, I would still be doing it. But just in my little community, I guess to like fit in, I'd have to be obviously skinnier, tanner, be more like country almost, but I can't be country in the masculine way. I have to be country in like the feminine way. Like, I'll have to go fishing, but I have to do it in a bathing suit. I have to go hunting, but I still have to like look pretty doing it. I'd be a cheerleader. I mean, it's too late for me to be a cheerleader now, but I would have had to do cheerleading and just do all this stuff. But like, why? Why is that the norm here? Like, obviously it probably goes into some like deep southern stuff, and like I could obviously go into that, but I'm not. But why is it just kind of like the norm? Why is not fitting in the norm bad? It's just so weird, because even see with Barbie, like, this is like Barbie Life in the Dream House stuff that I love that show. You're just like, you're different, like, be yourself. But like, when I be myself, it's bad. I can't be myself because I'm annoying, I'm weird, I can be too much. Why though? I'm not like, I don't try to be annoying. Like, sometimes I am pretty painfully self-aware. I know that I'm not like other kids my age, and I know like how I grew up obviously affected that. But part of me doesn't want to be normal. Like, obviously I'll have that desire. I'm like, I need to fit in. I want to feel better. I want to have like, I don't know, stuff to do. But part of me is kind of okay with that. I don't know if y'all are following along with me right now, because I feel like I'm just like word vomiting. But yeah, like, I just don't get it. Why? Because I didn't ask to be this. I didn't ask my brain to be this way. Everything I have is chronic and like genetic. I can't change it. I'm stuck like this. But why does that like affect who I am? Like, obviously, like, oh, your personality. Yeah, it's my personality. But like, why can't I be normal? That's because like, for a long time, that's all I've ever wanted. And just like, I keep changing who I am so often. And just like looking back from like middle school, like 6th grade to when I graduated, which is pretty recent, like a month ago. I'm just like, I changed almost every single year because I was trying to fit into this norm of like who I wanted to be. Like in 6th grade, when I went back to public school, it was like a preparatory school. Oh my. Well, I was actually like popular there. I was still kind of like made fun of. Then it was mainly by the guys, but you know, those are middle school boys. But I was told like, oh, Christy's so hyper, she's everywhere. Okay. Like that's one way to describe me, but like I feel like I have more to me. Then in 7th grade, I moved to Georgia. And at first I hated it, but you know. I mean, I can't control it. Honestly, I love it now. I love Georgia. But because I was in a new area, and it was very different from Northern Tennessee, obviously. Because I come down here, and everyone's like kind of tan. They're all like super like bubbly, and just modesty standards too. Like it was like, oh, I can wear shorts that aren't at my knees. I can wear tank tops. Like, while that didn't make me weird, it set me aside. And just from growing up, it's just such strict modesty and like purity standards. Oh my gosh, people's like, yeah, I had a boyfriend in 5th grade. I'm like, mainly just because like you had guys like you, which is like crazy to me. And guys didn't like me. A lot of guys still don't like me, apparently. You're just so like, you're too much for me. Okay, just say you have no personality. Anyways, so because I was in that new area and I didn't know how to like fit in. Because then I started school, and school is different from church. Very different. In school, I was just like, wow, I don't like this. I'm actually like in a middle school pretty much. And it didn't help that I had uniforms. So to like break it down, we had to wear like a school shirt, like school colored polo, that it had to be tucked in. I don't know why it had to be tucked in. It was like the only school in the district that made it be tucked in. It was so stupid. And the bottoms had to be like khaki, navy blue, or black. And then shoes were shoes. Just couldn't wear mix match socks. I've known people get dress coded for their socks. That's weird. I will say that is very strange. And we couldn't like dye our hair, like obviously like no like facial things because we're in middle school. And our jackets couldn't be like bright colors or like patterns on it, which I guess, like, oh, don't distract people, but like, it's a hoodie. But like, so it's also like peak emo time, honestly. And because I was honestly going through that, and I just felt like I was that new girl. I didn't have any friends. I just felt so different from everybody there because they've all known each other since middle school. Because I don't know if you knew this about the South, but everyone kind of just grows up so closely knit. Like if you're in a county, you're most likely gonna like know them. Like part of it's good because like you're just so accepted sometimes. But if you're not honestly in that like kind of norm, you're not gonna get accepted really. I had to like fight to make friends almost. Like people like would talk to me, but I couldn't talk to them. Cause even like it was just weird. So I ended up having like my little emo phase in like 7th grade. So I was wearing black, and honestly like that put me aside from the other kids because you see this like skinny, that's when I was skinny by the way. This skinny girl with blonde hair, she's pale and she's like all in black. Like that's setting me apart, but it's not making me weird. Like I was reading books. People thought, I still know where this got started. Reading books makes you weird. How does that make me weird? I was trying to enjoy my Percy Jackson. But also just here, just like, oh, athleticism. And while I'm not saying athleticism is bad, I'm just saying it's just so heavily like popular here that like, oh my gosh, this thing. It's just like, if you're not in a sport, you're like wrong. You have to be in a sport, but it has to be like one of the popular sports. And so in middle school, it was mainly football and baseball. High school kind of like branched out almost. Like at middle school was like, yeah, it was soccer, football, and like baseball. Then in high school, it was baseball, football, lacrosse, then wrestling. And then for the girls, you really just had competition cheerleading, softball, maybe soccer, depending on who you were, and then in high school, lacrosse. But if you did a sport like outside of that, you weren't really like popular. Cause I did soccer. I just didn't do for the school. And even when I tried, it's just people were just like looked at me weird. I don't know if it was like I was like getting in my head, but like you still know. But then in 8th grade, kind of that emo phase ended, and that was like my COVID year. So that like COVID started in 8th grade. So I like 8th grade was over for me in March, which was for the best. But I finally was able to make friends, but I was just like a doormat. They would walk all over me and just like, I was like, oh, this is just being popular. My life is just drama. And it kind of was. Like, I wasn't super popular. Like, people knew me. And it kind of stayed like that. People knew me. I was just always like, oh, she's just a little strange. And then freshman year, I came back. I dropped all my friends because I got sick of them. And then I met my best friend, who I still talk to him today. Not like as close, but like we're still pretty close. And like I kind of had him. I was chilling. Sophomore year. Because I feel like freshman year, I didn't like want to fit in. I was just like, I'm just about to do me. And I noticed like I like having my little close-knit group, and I just kind of like blending in. Sophomore year, I feel like that's pretty known for just being like terrible too. Like 7th grade and sophomore year, it's just known for being bad. But I was just like, because that's 2021 likes me like alt people, like oof. Like I had a really messy eyeliner. I had that tired look. My hair was kind of like, it wasn't frizzy, just kind of like messy, but like in a just a different way, because I was something. But that just set me aside more, honestly. I'm not saying there was anything wrong with me. I was just different from the group. Then like honestly, junior, senior year were kind of the same. So like, But I'm not trying to like over like boost myself, but like I feel like I am slightly above average for like attractiveness. And it obviously kind of started like middle school, high school, like once I kind of hit puberty, and it does not help that I have bigger body parts than others. So it obviously made guys like attracted to me. And while they may be attracted to me, they would get to know me and like find out who I was, and like, oh, she's just weird. Like I may be pretty, like I was always pretty enough to ask for nudes, but I was weird, but I was always like weird enough, and just I was always too much just to actually be with me. And while I do like I stand with my exes, I have like 2 main exes that like I dated for like more than a month or so, like few months at least. Honestly, like I probably should tell them like you're a trooper, especially my most recent one. Like if you're watching this, you are a trooper. You put up with me. I had some stuff going on. But like, yeah, I don't think different should mean weird, and I don't think weird should be bad. Part of me is glad I'm weird, but part of me just wishes I was normal, almost for that social acceptance. I think that's my little rant today. Don't let other people get you down. Yes,